Yeah, it's Roland from East Marsh Acres, and we're starting in on planting season for this year. And so we've already done a fair amount of work. So last week had a work station where we were actually finishing off the installation of the rows inside the high tunnel. And so what you can see is that we've actually planted our tomatoes, and some of them are very small, but they're there. There's another one, and there, and there, and there, and there, and there, etc. So we've got 2 rows of tomatoes at this point. And then we've got some eggplants, so 4 eggplants at the end of the row there. And then there are 4 hot peppers, and then there are 4, or then the rest of the row is regular red peppers, the sweet red peppers. And here we've got some more tomatoes as well. We also finished off the 5 rows in the outdoor gardens. So these 5 rows are ready for planting. As you can tell, so what we actually did was just put some of the materials out of the high tunnel. So the deep bedding that we had put the chickens in over the winter from there, and spread it over top. And then we took some triple mix topsoil and put those on top of the materials here. Over there, the 5th row is partially completed with, there is some asparagus. You can see some of it here. So there's an asparagus plant right there. And there are some strawberries still in there, and some more asparagus as well. I think we'll be phasing this out and just making it into a regular part of the garden. Very difficult to maintain over here. And we've got other asparagus plants with with strawberry plants that are actually working much better. We also have these 5 rows ready to go, and so we'll be planting all of this this weekend. Over there you can see where we actually had the topsoil. We dropped it there, and then we're carting it over to the remainder of the material. Tricia and Rachel are working right now on cleaning up the chicken coop, because we had another sad event last night where we lost yet another chicken. So we're down to 9 in the combined forces of the 2 groups of chickens. They're still producing, but we think that the one got an infection from flies, etc. So
Nothing. We know. There's fly strike.
okay, fly strike, which is a common occurrence for laying chickens who don't have good sanitary habits. That scared you, didn't it, Albs? That scared you. So the rest of the coop is being cleaned out. We still have yet to be able to maintain the bottom, so we'll have to do some changes in there fairly soon. But the chickens are fairly happy, and we'll change their paddock. We'll move it over here as soon as we have an opportunity. So sometime this week, I think. But the priority is getting the priority is getting the gardens planted. So that's what's up for this weekend, and we'll take you along as we're working on that material. Some advancements. We had a little bit of setback with the tractor, so we purchased a tractor over the spring, and it's just a John Deere little lawn tractor Not the typical one that you'd actually find in Home Hardware, but a little bit more power. And last weekend we had an issue with the belt and had to be replaced. This weekend I ended up with a flat tire, so that's fixed. I just picked it up this morning, and so I'll get back to sitting on the tractor and doing a little bit more clearance as we're going along, and that'll be interspersed with the other work that we're working on at this point in time. Anyways, welcome to spring. So this is June the 14th, spring of 2025. It's been slow and cool. Even yesterday we didn't even get up to, I don't think 16 or so was the high. So it's been a bit of a strange spring, and then we were in Spain, of course, for a couple of weeks as well. So that set us back. So we're probably about 3 weeks late for planting at this point, but we will get there. So it's just a question of moving in that direction. Anyhow, we'll keep you updated as we're going. Talk to you soon. Let me get started again. The name of the game here is that trying to get as much of the garden planted as we possibly can, and then get it started as soon as we possibly can. So the temperatures hopefully will be warming up. Yesterday is again another cold day that wouldn't have germinated anything, but today is a different story, and hopefully we'll have the opportunity to get some of these planted. So this row has marigolds, but it's got a few cucumbers. So there's a cucumber right there, and there's more cucumbers along the way. So hopefully they'll start picking up as soon as we get them some water. At the end of the row we've got our purple pole beans, so we'll be putting up chicken wire so that they can grow up the chicken wire. In this row, the row that the hose is running over, we actually have brown beans, and it's the first time that we'll be growing brown beans, so they're bush beans. We don't have to have a trellis for them to grow up. The center row is lima beans. Again, first time that we've grown lima beans, so it'll be interesting to see how they grow and what what kinds of characteristics that we actually have to work out. The next row over is carrots. So Trisha actually planted those, so hopefully they germinate quite well. And then the outside row, I think it's cabbages and that kind of material. So I can see a few plants from here. So hopefully they actually could do a good job as well. That's only a half row, because the other half of the row, I think I indicated earlier, it has some strawberry plants in it and some asparagus plants as well. And I think we'll be moving those after this year. Over here, Rachel has been busy planting. So there's a wide variety of flowers in this particular row. As of yet today, we do not have anything in these three middle rows. And what we're planning on doing is putting potatoes in two of them, and I can't remember what the third one is going to be. And then this outside row is squashes, pumpkins, spaghetti squash, acorn squash, all of those kinds of pieces. And given that this is a row that is going to be fairly high in nitrogen because beans were in there last year, and I should have a conversation about nitrifying organisms or organisms that provide space for bacteria that can take nitrogen out of the air and put it in, make it into nitrates in the soil that can be taken up and used by plants. So that'll be a conversation that we'll have in the near future. But that's where we had the beans last year, and so that should be really good soil for the pumpkins and squash to grow in. We'll see. It's always a bit of an experiment. Anyways, we're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back and plant the potatoes. They're sitting in the box right there, and they're going into 2 of these rows. Which 2, I don't know. But you can see there are some volunteer potatoes still there. So there's one there, and there's one about halfway up the row as well. I don't know if we should leave those in or not. At least potatoes with potatoes makes sense. But if we actually cross them with something else, then it starts to not make an awful lot of sense. Anyways, I got the hoses up and running, so now we don't have any leaks for now. We keep talking about it, but at some point I'd like to get rid of the hoses, which means that you actually have to bury water. Essentially, it's a form of a pipe. It'd be plastic, but still we need to worry about frost here, so it would actually have to go down 4 feet, and then we'd need to have some assistance to actually do that. But putting a hydrant that you can turn off and on during the summer over there by the swale somewhere would certainly be a very, very useful kind of thing, because then we'd only have to run hoses from that particular hydrant or faucet or whatever to wherever we need the water, rather than, I think we've got 300 feet of hose at this point in time. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so this is the 400th foot of, or 400 feet of hose at the end here, the yellow, which is not ideal because you've got potential leaks every step of the way along the hose, and particularly at the areas where they join up, and that has in fact been a problem. Anyhow, I think we're about ready to go and have some lunch and come back in the afternoon and do the rest of the potatoes. Anyways, talk to you soon. We'll bring you along for the rest of the day. Okay, I'm going to move the sprinkler. See how much more of this garden bed that we can actually get. That's a pretty good spread, I think. Okay, seem to be able to get most of it. All right, what we're up to this afternoon is to get potatoes planted in 2 of these rows. So we've got 4 to choose from. and I don't know which ones Patricia wants to use.
Hey there everyone, it's Tricia from East Marsh Shakers, and we've had a work day today. It's Saturday, June the 14th, and yeah, we finally got the whole garden planted. So pretty pleased about that. So you heard from Roland that one of our chickens died. It was feeling fairly poor and always having a poopy bum and losing weight and hunched over, and anyways, should have done more a little bit sooner maybe, but I don't think that she could have been saved. It's the same one that we nursed last spring, I think, or summer. She had a big cut gash and whatever, so she had a month away, but I don't think she fully recovered from that incident. But anyways, she passed away last night, and so this morning it was time to clean the chicken tractor that way, and so we moved it up, removed all the poop and whatever, cleaned it out with the hose and so on, and so if there was hopefully any disease or fly strike or something, that that it's not going to be contagious to the other chickens. However, we Whitney was showing signs of being hunched over again too, and slow, and she had a poopy bum. So anyways, we're being proactive now. She's separated. She's in the, I'll show you, she's in the garage now and getting some extra nutrition and so on. So hopefully we can catch this and she'll feel back to normal. There was no no incident like fly strike that we could see with her. So anyways, this is the garden getting watered now. So I had planted kale and cabbages there, planted some more sunflowers to end the row, then we planted carrots, and then we've got Dutch brown beans and lima beans, and then the rest here from cucumbers. Now we put in the pole beans, so Roland still has to put in the trellis that the pole beans can go on, and the cucumbers. So that's how I did this garden. We got some more slow watering tape and put that in, and so they were watered last night, so it's a lot better. But yeah, the tomatoes are still very small. Hopefully they will perk up and grow like crazy now. And same with the peppers that are in here. Hot peppers back there and eggplants, and then these bigger tomatoes are they're what do you call it? The small tomatoes, your cherry tomatoes. So hopefully and then we planted out this garden. So earlier this week I planted in here, I planted onions, and now along the back row there, see all the mounds, those are all squashes and pumpkins. So spaghetti squash, butternut squash, and pumpkins. And then these next 2 rows, Roland and I just planted potatoes. So this is the onions. And oh, they're already coming up. Look at that. And then Rachel planted flowers. So we have the ones that are here. I started, they're calendula. And then they're little wee daisy plants. And in between there's a mix of seeds. So cut flower mix. Zinnias and bluebell, like a whole bunch of different. So that's all seed. That's there. So that's all planted. So a whole row of flowers again. And here's our box of our seed potatoes. So I cut the potatoes last year that were really small. And so they all sprouted. And that's what we planted. So hopefully that'll work. It should work. And so we're going to get this garden all watered in. So thankful that it's all done. 3 weeks late from normal, but a lot of people are 2 to 3 weeks late. So I'm not feeling too bad. It's been pretty cool still. At night it went down to single digits, so last night, so it was cool last night, and today was beautiful outside planting. It was about 21, something like that. Nice little breeze. So now we've got some plans, or I have plans for next week. Tomorrow's Father's Day. No idea how Roland wants to spend it, but I should probably take out a chicken barbecue. And so the next thing on my list is to enlarge this flower garden and to do my flower pots for the deck and the front here. So I still have some soil over there, and we've got all these wood chips. So I'm going to expand this front garden here, which has come back nicely for what I did plant last year. And so you can see I'm putting paper down, then some compost. In the back I've got all wood chips already, which the grandchildren helped me with. But I still got more to put in the front and way on the other side of those lupins there. So this is my hoard of flowers yet to plant yet in there. So still something to do, and replant some stuff into the raised beds. Anyways, bye for now. Thanks for spending time with us and the Saturday. Oh yeah, there's little Whitney in there, but she looks like she's perking up. She's picking around, so yeah, hopefully we'll just get her strength up and we can put her back with the flock soon. Anyways, take care. Till next time. Bye.